St. Louis sports fans, go deeper with STL Sports Central Insiders. Get exclusive access to Bernie, Randy, Claves, Jamal Mayers, and more. Plus, your chance to watch a Blues game in the alumni box with Jamal himself. Monthly giveaways, Bernie's columns all week, and support for local sports media. Join now at stlsportscentral.com.
Hello there. I am Bernie Miklasz, and you have reached The Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. Hope you're all getting ready for Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to it. Wonderful, wonderful day. So The Bernie Show is presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. I'll speed it up. I'm just trying to get my footing. I am Bernie Miklasz, and I've been writing and talking about St. Louis area sports since 1985. I do 5 videos each week and write 5 columns each week here on STL Sports Central. And you can catch me frequently throughout the week. Multiple shows on KMOX, FM, and AM. Hey, you can be part of our team by becoming a STL Sports Central insider. Just do that by signing up as a member, and you'll have access to every column that I write. And I'll be adding to the value of your subscription through more direct engagement opportunities, including insider-only chats and insider-only email questions and answers. And we're dreaming up and cooking up and revving up some other things, too. Thank you for supporting local sports media, including our site. We can do more for you if you help us out. Thank you very much. We appreciate you very much. All right, today's topic, I'm not trying to be a breathless, swooning prospect geek here, but the boy can't help himself. I wanted to talk about the Cardinals prospect that basically I'm more fired up about than any other. And the Cardinals' quality of prospects is really improving, which bodes well for the future because of dudes like infielder J.J. Weatherholt, pitcher Liam Doyle, outfielder Joshua Baez, and many, many more. But I am most intrigued by the 18-year-old catcher, Rainiel Rodriguez. Last season, he had a historically prominent season offensively for his age group. In baseball history, I'm talking about. And this is no hype. This is all based on the facts. Here we go. Now, since 2006, there have been only 9 18-year-olds with 250 plate appearances that performed at least 50% above the league average offensively based on weighted runs created plus. That's the funny-sounding metric, but it is commonly used by baseball people everywhere as a quick hit reference to see how a guy's performing offensively. So Rainiel Rodriguez is on that list of 9 for what he did this past summer in a group that includes Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Fernando Tatis Jr., Freddie Freeman, Jackson Chourio, Giancarlo Stanton, and the rookie Baltimore Orioles catcher, Samuel Basallo. Now, Wander Franco was also the other guy on that list. At one point, he was the number 1 prospect in baseball, but you may have heard, and I don't want to get into it, he self-destructed away from the field with some horrendous and illegal activity. So look, Rodriguez being part of that exclusive and elite group doesn't guarantee he's going to be a major league star, so I'm not saying that. But based on the history that I just told you about and all the short list of names that perform that well in the minors at age 18, it's a very short list, and Rodriguez is on it. So let's leave it at this. I think the young man is definitely on the right track. Rodriguez played at 3 different levels of the Cardinal system last season, and his level of offense based on weighted runs created plus was 62% above average for the season. In his first full year of pro ball, he batted .276. He had a 400 on base percentage. He slugged .555. He smashed 20 homers, and he basically went deep every 15 at bats. And this is while he was still learning. What about the teenager's plate discipline? He's young. He must be a little raw, a little wild, a lot of swinging and missing, a lot of that Nolan Gorman stuff. Nope. I would use the word impeccable to describe Rodriguez' plate discipline that we have seen so far. Sorry about that. I just got buzzed on my phone. Got distracted there. Anyway, he has shown advanced maturity in his strike zone recognition. Despite climbing 3 levels, and facing tougher pitching each time he moved up, Rodriguez had an excellent 15% walk rate, and he struck out only 18% of the time. This ain't Nolan Gorman, and this ain't Jordan Walker, okay? A few weeks ago, Baseball America moved Rodriguez up to number 3 on its list of top 10 St. Louis prospects at age 18, with only J.J. Weatherholt and Liam Doyle above him, and both of those guys were stars in college. They're older. And in a quick follow-up Q&A chat with fans, Baseball America's Jeff Ponce, who's excellent, said that Rodriguez could be a top 10 prospect in the entire major leagues within a year or so. He's clearly one of the fastest rising prospects out there. And, when you're in a rebuild, that's good to have guys like that, I would say. Call me Fredbird. I think that's a good thing. Anyway, and Baseball America also described Rodriguez as, quote, one of the highest upside prospects in the game. If it all clicks, he could be an all-star level bet. Baseball America's scouting report on Rodriguez, the more in-depth one, went on to say it was filled with abundant praise, saying that Rodriguez has displayed, quote, a blend of advanced plate skills plus, let me say this again, advanced plate skills plus, double plus raw power and elite batted ball angles. The report also said his knack for finding the barrel is his defining skill. He barrels up just about everything. He shows the ability to consistently drive the ball in the air, makes him different than another highly acclaimed prospect that we know. I think his name's Walker. Rodriguez's contact skills and swing decisions are above average for age and level, and he does a good job of limiting strikeouts and getting on base. Finally, the report states of young Rodriguez, quote, while the plate skills are impressive, his plus raw power is his loudest tool. I'm good with that. I think it's cool to know that Cardinals have such a rare talent that's going to be making his way to St. Louis as part of a rebuild. And like I said, timing's excellent because you would hope that a rebuild will infuse the roster, the major league roster, the 26-man roster, with more elite players, especially with the Cardinals' lack of power, more elite hitters. And this kid who turns 19 in early January is definitely a candidate to become one of those cornerstones that you're going to build around. When I return for my second segment of the Bernie Show, I'm going to offer an interesting history of talented catchers who barged into the majors at a very early age. Can Rodriguez become one of those guys? He certainly has a chance, maybe I would say a strong chance to do that, and I'll explain. But first, let's do our daily countdown on DraftKings Sportsbook going live in the great state of Missouri. We're only 6 days away as I sit here on November the 25th, Tuesday, 6 days away. Then it'll be December 1st, and that's Monday, and DraftKings will officially launch its sportsbook in Missouri. Just 6 days, and Missouri becomes the show me the money state. I cannot wait. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and set up their personal account today. And when we go live on the 1st of December, you can place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. So set up your personal account by going to DraftKings.com/sportsbook. In case you didn't know, and I think you do, DraftKings is America's top-rated sportsbook app. It's got everything you need to elevate and enjoy your game day experience, including live in-game betting, lightning-quick payouts, extensive variety of sports to choose from, and many, many, many ways to join the fun. And you can do it all right from your phone. Easy. And on the first day of December, you're going to be betting with a safe and secure DraftKings Sportsbook app that is trusted by millions. And when you get started on December 1st, don't forget to unlock the $300 in bonus bets with that $5 bet at the DraftKings Sportsbook on your phone. That is a sweet deal, so get on it. Only 6 days away. Yes. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after being issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. All right, welcome back to the Bernie Show for the second segment. And thank you for supporting our sponsors. We'd appreciate it. Also, please, if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the like button on our videos. You can do both of those things on your screen, the one you're looking at now, in a matter of seconds. I did some research this morning because that's what I do. I wanted to get a gauge on how unusual it would be for Rodriguez to graduate to the majors as a catcher by age 18, 19, or 20. Well, he's not going to do it at 18 because 18 just flew by. So let me correct myself and say graduate to the majors by age 19 or 20. These examples are confined to the time since the first major league draft in 1965. Before that, when prospects were basically free agents, they could sign with anybody. Some had to stay on the big league roster all season, the entire season, whether they were ready or not, depending on the size of their signing bonus. They were called bonus babies. And three examples that their names resonate locally: Tim McCarver, Joe Torre, and Dave Duncan were among those instant major leaguers because of the signing bonus rules. There's no point to include the bonus babies in this discussion I'm having today. So we're going to start after 1965 and go from there. Close to home, real close to home, Ted Simmons, now a Baseball Hall of Famer, made his major league debut with the Cardinals. Just 2 games at age 18 back in 1968, and then he played 4 games at age 19 in 1969. Cardinals gave Simba a little bit, and then he started playing a lot for the Cardinals at age 20 in 1970. I think he had like 350 at-bats that year. The catchers who were promoted to the big leagues at age 19 include Johnny Bench, Pudge Rodriguez, and Darrell Porter. The list of young catchers who arrived in the majors at age 20 includes Dale Murphy, Gary Carter, Butch Weiniger, who was really good, by the way, Ray Fosse, Buck Martinez, Francisco Alvarez, Milt May, Mike Ivey, and Rick Dempsey, who was a starting catcher on the 1983 Baltimore Orioles World Series champions. The youngest catchers to make the All-Star game ever were Bench, Pudge, and Weiniger. They each made the All-Star team at age 20. Some prominent catching names also graduated to the majors 1 year later at age 21. Yadier Molina, I think we know him. Joe Mauer, Salvador Perez, Benito Santiago, Alejandro Kirk, Brian McCann, Lance Parrish, Mike Scioscia, Javi Lopez. The Cardinals, if you remember, they even brought catching prospect Carson Kelly to the big leagues for 10 games at age 21. This is just a partial list. There are many more. So when we review the names of notable catchers who entered the bigs between the ages of anywhere from 18 to 21, it's hardly a stretch to envision Rodriguez in the big leagues as soon as 2027, when he will be 20 years old. And if that's too soon, we can expect to see him in St. Louis in 2028. Of course, it all depends on how Rodriguez continues to perform. And if he continues to perform at a high level, the sooner he'll get here. And if he stays healthy, that's even better. Cannot have injuries. That's the one thing we all worry about a little bit with Ivan Herrera. But the Cardinals are deep in catching, so there's really no reason per se to rush Rodriguez to the majors. Well, unless he's crushing pitching to the point where the Cardinals just say, we can't wait anymore. Let's get him up here now. When I return for my third and final segment today on the Bernie Show, I got 2 more aspects to get into involving or concerning Rainiel Rodriguez. Let's talk about his defense. Let's talk about his height. Yeah, his height. We'll talk about that. But right now I need to motivate my fellow men out there by presenting BlueChew as a way for you to jumpstart your intimate relations with your partner. I know what BlueChew's done for me, and I'm going to be 67 in February. So that's why I want you to try BlueChew, and you can find out what it can do for you. And I'll make that easy for you to for that to happen for you. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced performance for those special and pleasurable times with your partner. If your bat has been dragging, BlueChew can help you power up. You want to cut down on those embarrassing strikeouts? Well, just go for the BlueChew. Do you want to turn all that soft contact that's so frustrating, just convert that into hard contact? Pop some BlueChew, and then it's good times. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of the licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you will soon receive your prescription at your doorstep. No fuss, no worries, no waiting lines at the pharmacy, no awkward conversations. And on top of that, your first month of BlueChew is free when you use the promo code BERNIE, B-E-R-N-E. Bernie. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code Bernie to get your first month free. And the only cost to you is a $5 shipping fee. That's a great deal. So take advantage of it. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we sincerely thank BlueChew for helping the guys out there and for sponsoring the Bernie Show. All right. Thank you, as always, for supporting our sponsors. Let's get to my third and final segment on the Cardinals catching phenom, the prospect Rainiel Rodriguez. What about his defense? Well, he's still developing, but you got to understand some things here. Rodriguez has a strong arm. He can police the running game. So this is not, with all due respect to him, an Ivan Herrera sort of thing where you can't throw anybody out. What Rodriguez needs to work on are the things that you would imagine that a lot of teenage catchers have to work on. The pitch framing, the pitch calling, the blocking, the general leadership behind the plate, knowledge of the hitters, all that. And by the way, the pitch framing won't be as important once they switch starting next season to the automatic ball strike technology. But he has made, it's important to understand, he's made progress in these areas in large part because of his exceptional work ethic. I hope you visit, and you should visit regularly, Rob Rain's site, STL Sports page. Rob is the dean of St. Louis baseball writers, and here's what Palm Beach manager Gary Kendall had to say about Rodriguez in an interview last summer. And I quote, this is the manager of the high A team, or I should say the low A team at Palm Beach, Gary Kendall, about Rainiel Rodriguez. And I quote, what I see, first of all, is a guy who is very meticulous about everything he does. He's very mature for his age. He's very focused. He's very driven. He's loaded with strength, and he's very athletic. For a young player to be in this league and be battling and competitive in the way that he has been, it's very special. We're very blessed to have him. In other words, Rainiel Rodriguez ain't a knucklehead, okay? Very serious guy. That's what you want in a catcher. Baseball America says Rodriguez should be an average defensive catcher in the big leagues. They don't say he stinks. They think he's just got to get better. He'll be average. Keith Law, the Athletic, says that Rodriguez can throw well, but he needs to move around better behind the plate, needs to maintain his conditioning. It's not that he's out of shape, but Rodriguez, as a young kid, had to learn about conditioning if you're going to be a catcher. It's just a different standard once you start to play pro ball. So he's adapted to that. No one questions his work ethic. And Keith Law, by the way, is hardly a skeptic when it comes to Rodriguez. Quote from Keith Law, he had the best performance of any 18-year-old in the minors in 2025. That's Keith Law, the Athletic. And Rodriguez, as I mentioned, is well aware to stay on top of his conditioning, and he made that a priority as the season went on last summer. His admirable work ethic, as I mentioned, should take care of that. The other question on Rodriguez, if you want to call it that, is his height. These things are usually pretty confusing. He's officially listed at 5'10", but some scouts believe it's closer to 5'9" or 5'8". Oh my gosh. Would everyone relax? Rodriguez has got plenty of physical size and presents a big target behind the plate for his pitcher. I mean, this is a rugged-looking individual. By the way, the reasons I say, well, everybody please relax. Here's a partial list of notable major league catchers who were or are 5'8" or 5'9". Pudge Rodriguez, Yogi Berra, Alejandro Kirk, Dalton Varsho. He's a center fielder, but he also can catch for the Blue Jays. Christian Vasquez, Gabriel Moreno, Tucker Barnhart, Max Stassi, Lenny Webster, Austin Barnes. There's more. I'm just giving you some more of the guys that are more prominent names, and not all those are prominent unless you're a really intense baseball fan and you know everybody. Here are some catchers listed at 5'10". Will Smith of the Dodgers. I think he's high. Carlos Santana, Ed Ott, Greg Zahn, Javier Valentin, Dioner Navarro, and many, many more. One more note from Baseball America. When we're talking about not just Rodriguez, but kind of the state of the Cardinals prospects in terms of their hitters. The site recently listed the top 10 minor league hitting prospects at each age. And the Cardinals did pretty damn well in that examination. In 2025, Rodriguez was a top 10 hitting prospect among the 18-year-olds. Third baseman Daniel Ortiz was one of the top 10 hitters in the age 20 group. And the Cardinals had 2 hitters in the top 10 list for 22-year-olds, J.J. Weatherholt and outfielder Joshua Baez. The point is, there are no guarantees about nothing. Nothing. I mean, I could be talking about what this roof could fall in. There's no guarantees about nothing. But St. Louis clearly has some premium young hitters on the way. I can only speak for myself, but I'm looking forward to seeing these guys play for your St. Louis Cardinals and put some life and excitement and some energy into this franchise. That includes some of the pitchers as well. Hey, thank you for watching The Bernie Show. Appreciate you very much. And thanks to DraftKings for presenting The Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. You have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you for watching. Hello there. I'm Bernie Miklasz, and I want to take a minute to brag about everything that we're doing here on STL Sports Central. But first, if you don't mind, I'm going to tell you a quick story because I think you need to hear it. When this site began a few months ago, whenever it was, right, I was curious to see what I would find here. I love sports content, but I can be a little picky. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be smart. I want it to be fun. I want it to be something I can count on. Not every now and then, but every day if possible. Well, listen, I got all of that and then some. I was simply blown away by the huge amount of content, good content, quality content, a variety of content on this site. Hey, there's Cardinals coverage with Card Central 365, which is there for you every single day, 365 days a year. You're going to stay up to date with a great cast of hosts, my friends that include Brendan Schaefer, Mike Claiborne, Joe Roderick, Stephen Carey, Ryan Fagan, and many more. And that's not all. There's post-game shows after every game. In fact, this is about the Cardinals coverage, but there's post-game shows after every game, any St. Louis sports team, college or pro. It's amazing. And these post-game shows feature the hosts that I've already mentioned, plus in terms of the Cardinals post-games, plus Sarah Daly and Ethan Hannaford. And I'm in the bullpen in case they want to bring the old reliever out so I can holler about something. Hey, long story short, and I wasn't very short, but here's the story. I was so impressed with STL Sports Central, I knew something right away. I wanted to be part of the team, and so I am. Here I am. Please join us all. There's nothing like this in the St. Louis sports market. There is nothing like it in this market. There never has been, and we are breaking that ground. We are changing the way St. Louis sports fans consume their sports content. I'm proud to be on the squad. Thank you, and join us.